You want a beer?
Or do you want to smoke some pot?
Or we can have premarital sex.
Hello, everybody. I'm John.
I'm Justin.
And we're the Gore
Goblins.
And here, today, we talk about stuff we like movies.
Yeah, stuff we like movies.
And stuff we don't like movies.
Yeah, especially that stuff we don't like movies.
And today is very special because this is technically going to be our Christmas episode because we're probably not recording next week. So and it's a Jason Xmas Christmas episode.
Ha.
So there we go. I did it.
Fits.
I made a Justin pun. Are you happy? Are you fucking happy?
They won't be after they find out, according to this movie's logic, hockey gets outlawed next year.
Next year, yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Sorry, Canada.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it to be outlawed. That means Houston's never going to get a hockey team, and that makes me a little sad because I'd go to those games. But, you know, that's too bad. That's too bad. Anyway, today we're talking about Jason X. Came out in 2001, technically. I think in Spain is where it initially... So it came out in, like, November of 2001 in Spain, and then a theatrical trailer was released in America the same day, and then it came out in April in 2002.
What the fuck?
So I don't know why the fuck it premiered in Spain, since it's a Canadian production. Very strange. This is a very Canadian movie at that, by the way. This, like, every actor is fucking Canadian. David Cronenberg's in it, which is insane to me that he's in this fucking movie. And he delivers. So I was watching it. And he plays Dr. Wimmer, I believe, is the name at the beginning.
Weimer.
Whatever. He plays him, Weimer, whatever, at the beginning. And there's a bit where he's like, I don't want Jason frozen. I want him soft. And I'm like, there's no fucking way he didn't write that line. like I know David Cronenberg so fucking well at this point. I know he fucking wrote that line. And sure enough, when I'm watching the special features, what's his name? God, what's the name of the fucking... what's the name of the goddamn writer? This one.
That guy.
Shit, it's Todd Farmer. Todd Farmer was talking about how, you know, Cronenberg came in and he was like, yeah, I'll be in the movie. Because initially it was like, hey, we want to use your effects team. And he's like, hey, you can use my effects team. He's like, but I want to be in the movie and I want to die. And Todd Farmer was like, all right, well, you can play this guy. And David Cronenberg was like, all right, I'm going to rewrite this. And he rewrote most of his lines. And that's why I was like, I fucking knew it, man. I fucking knew that. Because I also watched Crash over the weekend, which is David Cronenberg's Crash. And again, it's that same thing where it's like, you know, it got an NC-17 rating when it came out. It debuted at Cannes Film Festival, and everybody fucking hated it. People walked out because they were disgusted by it. You know, Francis Ford Coppola, who was, I think, the head of the jury that year, like, refused to give it any awards. So the rest of the jury members were like, well, fuck you. We're gonna make a special award because we like this movie so much. But it's that thing where it's like, it was so controversial when it came out. You know, the only movie that I've watched where it actually lives up to that hype is Irreversible, where it's like, oh, I get it. Like, I get why this is so, like, fucking, ugh. And that's the only one that's had, like, even Martyrs, as
what about
you know, hard
Cannibal
to watch
Holocaust?
as it is. As which one?
Cannibal Holocaust.
I still haven't watched that one, but I guarantee you it's not
what?
It's too hyped up. It'll be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's so hyped up and I'll just kind of be iffy on it. As far as the shock value goes, it'll probably be the same way because, yeah, Crash wasn't... Like, yeah, there's a lot of fucking in it, but, like, it's not that bad. It's I'm not going to call it tasteful, but it's definitely not, like, porn. Not even fucking close. It's not even close to porn. I was expecting, like, at least one cum shot in the movie, as big of a fuss as people were making about it, or at least from what I had read. And no, it's just James Spader looking pretty good, I gotta say. And he's just fucking everything that walks, pretty much. And then he gets turned on by car crashes, and so does Holly Hunter, which is really weird because I never thought I'd hear Miss Incredible moan, but here we are. In the year of our Lord 2023, and that's what I'm hearing. So, you know, that's cool. But no, it's good. It's good. It's like any other Cronenberg movie where it's you know, he's very obsessed with, like, people and people's relation to technology, and it's pretty good. I'd recommend it. It was if you don't like fucking, I guess don't watch it, but it's pretty good. I thought it was a good Cronenberg movie. It's not my favorite, not even close actually, but it's pretty good. So yeah, it's funny. I watched that, and then I've seen a handful of his other movies like Scanners and Crimes of the Future and Videodrome and The Brood, which I think is my favorite. And there's a particular and Naked Lunch. I've seen Naked Lunch too. There's a particular style to his writing that almost makes you feel gross. Like his dialogue. I mean, his dialogue makes you feel a little gross sometimes. And like for instance in Crash, there's a part where James Spader's fucking his wife, I think. I don't know. I don't think it's ever really specified. But there's a part where that's going on, and there's this guy that's played by Elias Koteas. I don't remember exactly what his last name is. He's a fucked up little guy that likes car crashes, right? He's covered in scars and shit. And his wife, while they're having sex, is asking him do you want to fuck him? Do you want to fuck him? And then she's asking him to describe what he would do to him, but she's using scientific terms instead of dick. She's saying penis, and she's saying anus. And I'm just why is this making me uncomfortable? Why are the scientific terms bothering me? So there's a clinical fucking sheen to his dialogue sometimes. It's all over Crimes of the Future, which now that I'm thinking about it might actually be my favorite. I don't know. God damn it, I love David Cronenberg, but he's so that line, I want him soft. I was like, oh, he wrote that. There's no fucking way. And I was right, because I know my boy Davey. I know him, and he dies. He dies very early on. Very quickly, he dies. But yeah, and then I think the main chick is a popular Canadian actress, KM.
Lexa Doing.
The KM is a what a name.
I don't know how do you say her last name. It's Doig. Doig? Probably Doig, I don't know. And then the Lisa Ryder, I think, who plays KM, is very Canadian. She's also a Canadian superstar. She's the best character in the movie.
She's pretty good. I like what was the main girl's name? The final girl? Huh? Rowan. I like her. But there's she's no Mia. Not even close.
Nobody's ever gonna be a Mia.
Nobody's ever gonna be a Mia. Please come back to Evil Dead, Jane. Yeah. So, they're very Canadian. There's a lot of Canadians in this movie. The dude that's in bed when fucking discount capitalist from Aliens is calling him, asking about money or whatever. He was in Scanners, and I knew I had recognized him from somewhere, because he's such a weird fucking dude. He's got a weird lisp or something, or he's got a weird voice. And I was like, I fucking know I've seen him somewhere. And then he was in Scanners, and I was like, God damn it. Jim Isaac, the director, actually worked with Cronenberg a lot on... he did effects, I think, for Naked Lunch and The Fly, I think. So yeah, he directed this movie. And then he died in 2012, so R.I.P. to him. But I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good movie. I don't know. So once again, we're talking about a movie that exists in a post-Scream world. But unlike H2O, I think this one works, because let me tell you, Halloween is about atmosphere and about Michael being a slow stalker. Friday the 13th already had a movie that didn't take itself seriously. It's already had two, actually, if you count Jason Goes to Hell. Because, Jason Lives is very tongue-in-cheek. Jason Goes to Hell is very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
This is just another... So it fits. I don't know. It fits pretty well. I do... I mean, the dialogue is very, 2000s. So are the outfits. Much in the same way that that Alien Resurrection feels like Firefly with xenomorphs, this kind of feels like Firefly with Jason, but like also it's very clearly a ripoff of Alien and Aliens, which is what Todd Farmer pretty much confirmed. Because there's that part where all the Marines are like, or I guess
the grunts.
Excuse me.
That's what they were called.
When they go into that little warehouse section and start getting picked off, I'm like, oh, it's just aliens. I'm like, this is literally just aliens, because you have Rowan as Ripley trying to tell the fucking shithead capitalist that wants to keep the aliens alive so that way they can be used as a weapon and he can make money. You have Ripley doing that in Aliens, and in this you have Rowan trying to tell the shithead capitalist that wants to make money off of Jason, like, you don't know what they're like, they don't know what they're doing, they're gonna die, blah blah blah, and then the same thing happens, they all get picked off, and I was like, oh, it's literally just aliens, and then it kind of morphs into its own thing at the end, which I really liked, but yeah, it wears its influences on its sleeve, but again, like. I mean, this is the 10th one. Like, I mean,
what else are you gonna do?
This is the 10th one. Jason in space. Why the fuck not? Apparently, they were like just throwing shit at the wall. Like Jason in the Hood, Jason versus LA street gangs, Jason in Africa, Jason in Antarctica. Like they were trying like everything. And then Todd Farmer was like, "What about Jason in space?" And then they were like, "What?" And then I think Sean Cunningham was like, "Fuck it, yeah, that's fine, that'll work." And then they mapped it out, and yeah, I think we got a pretty good Friday the 13th movie. Technically, it's not. It's a Jason movie, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't take itself seriously. It knows what it is, and it's a good time. Some good kills.
Very good.
Some good Jason moments in general. It's I had a good time
looking
with it.
Jason ever.
Yeah, even like his regular look was pretty good,
Yeah.
because I really like his look in The New Blood, because he's like that zombie look. But then in this one, he just looks fucking cool. I don't know, like I like the way his mask looks and everything. It's funny because they kept the continuity with the axe mark in his head and then the slightly blown off part on the bottom left. But it's a different mask. They kept the continuity, but it's a different mask. I will say that when the movie starts, it looks like you're in hell. And I'm like, oh, that's right. They got to explain, because I haven't seen this movie in like 10 years. So I was like, oh, that's right. They got to explain how he gets out of hell. And then they just don't.
Yeah,
and I was like...
It just looked like a doctor performed surgery on him and he came back.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that it's... Because, remember Jason Goes to Hell ends with Freddy Krueger's glove.
Yeah, pulling the mask.
Whatever. So, I figured I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they were waiting for Freddy versus Jason to kind of resolve that. And it does, if I remember correctly, because Jason doesn't die. I think he just fucking walks away, if I remember right. We'll find out in a couple weeks, but...
no, he floats to the bottom of the lake.
I don't remember. I remember him popping out, and then he's carrying Freddy's head, and Freddy winks.
Oh yeah. That's right.
See, look at. I didn't even see that movie in years.
Forget about that part.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, look at you, fake fan. Anyway.
Wow.
So says the person that just watched all these movies this year. But no, yeah. So they didn't. And Todd Farmer in an interview was talking about how, like, yeah, I was just gonna have Freddy versus Jason resolve that. That's what we figured. So yeah, and then we got Jason X because they wanted to keep the name relevant in people's minds before Freddy versus Jason came out, because that was locked in development hell. And what's funny is this movie did not do well financially. But after the fact, on DVD, I think DVD sales were like fucking through the roof for this movie. It was a very dread situation where the movie didn't do shit at the box office, but then, once it came out on Blu-ray and DVD or whatever, everybody was like, oh, fuck, this movie's actually good? Yeah, you should have supported it when it was out in the theater.
This was the first movie I ever saw with Jason.
Did you see it at the movies, or did
No,
you watch it at home?
I saw it on TV.
Oh, on TV. Oh, that's too bad. Was it on what, Sci-Fi?
Yeah.
I knew it. It had to be Sci-Fi. That's when it was still Sci-Fi, right? Not when it was Swi-Fi.
Whatever the fuck it changed.
Yeah, Swi-Fi. That's what I call it. But yeah, I got a lot of memories with that original Sci-Fi. But Yeah, what a movie. And the premise is so ridiculous, but like
it works.
It works. Like first of all,
there's a Crystal Lake research facility,
which is hilarious, and David Cronenberg works there, I guess. That is even more hilarious.
No, he works for the government that wants to use Jason's body as a fucking regeneration
to
thing.
research and figure it out. But
then Rowan's like, nah, he's too dangerous.
Which, yeah.
Obviously.
Very obviously.
You probably had to go through hell to put him in all those chains.
Yeah, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Like, how do you even, like, I guess they had to technically kill him and sedate him enough to where he just regenerated or whatever. This is the first Jason movie you ever saw. This is the first Friday the 13th movie I ever saw too, actually. It was about 10 years ago. I was at a friend's house for Halloween, and it was just like a Halloween party. We watched this and Halloween Resurrection. The double, because I think the idea was we wanted to watch the stupidest movies from each franchise, because one of my friends had the Friday, like it was that old Blu-ray tin set that in the tin box that had every movie from I don't think it had the remake, but it had everything up to Jason X. It might have had the remake, but I don't think it did. So we were like, okay, we'll watch Jason X because that's the stupidest one because he's in space. And then I don't remember who had the Halloween box set, but we were like, okay, we'll watch Resurrection because that's the stupidest one. And I think I had seen Halloween 1 at that point, so I don't think that was my first exposure to that. But this was my first exposure to Friday the 13th, and I still, in rewatching it, it tickles me that what revives him is two people having sex. I think that's so funny, and that's like such a very clear, like on the nose fucking joke, and I love it so much. Also, Jason teleports like a motherfucker at the very beginning, even.
Yeah.
Because there's
How
that.
the fuck did he do that?
Because he throws that one guy through the door, and then Rowan turns around and he's fucking right behind him, right behind her, and I'm like, all right, I don't give a fuck. I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
He took the time to chain up that dude after somehow escaping the chains himself.
Yeah, he's Jason. Don't worry about it. And then he gets shot into the cryogenic freezer. And then Rowan, despite knowing how dangerous he is, decides to look through the window. And then she gets stabbed, and that causes a leak. And then they both get frozen.
Awesome.
And then, like 500 years later, 450 years later, there's some archaeologists on a field trip.
They're students.
They're students, yeah. And they're led by
Jason Takes Manhattan all over again.
A stupid ass professor. And he's like, "Whoa, we found 2 bodies. What the fuck?"
Oh, let's see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
And then that dumbass kid, Azrael, knocks Jason over and gets his arm cut off.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. You know, that happens to everybody.
He deserved it.
And then, yeah, they just immediately, like, fix him up, which I thought was kind of funny.
Shoot him with super morphine and then just a suction patch.
Yeah, which was
looked like
pretty cool. So they do that, and KM does it. KM's she's a little android freak.
She's the bishop.
Bless her heart. Yeah, even down to having a fucking android on the ship. That's just alien and aliens, because there's 2 of them. There's what was his name? Was his name Ash in the first one? And then Bishop, and then Bishop again, and then Cell or Call. Was it Call? It might have been Call, which was Winona Ryder with short hair, which is the best Winona Ryder. But she's and then it's David in Prometheus. I'm sorry, I'm going on an alien tangent. Forgive me, but it's David in Alien and Alien Covenant, or Prometheus and then Alien Covenant. And let's see if there's going to be an android in Romulus next year, because that's coming out, directed by Fede Alvarez.
Will it be good? I hope.
Well, let's find out. We'll know next year.
It's like I like Covenant and don't at the same time.
That's another one of those stupid ones. Yeah,
it's like it tried a little too hard and then just didn't accomplish what it was trying to do.
No. Like for as weird as Prometheus is, I think the mystery of it works. And like all the questions you got, but Ridley Scott's also a very odd man, so that factors into it. I think I saw Prometheus in theaters. Yeah, I think I did. What a movie. Anyway, yeah. So you got KM, which I forgot what it stood for, but her creator says what it stands for. A knowledge machine, I think.
Something like that.
And you know he's fucking it anyway. So
well, he makes that pretty obvious later on.
Yeah, God bless America.
Or that he's thought about it at least, even if he hasn't.
Yeah, because there's that part where like she wants nipples or whatever.
Because she's like the other girl has them.
Janessa has them, and then and then he's just like, no, you look fine the way you are though. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird. But then you know what else is weird is Janessa fucking being a dominatrix for the professor at that one point.
Yeah, that seems weird.
That's very bizarre. Very bizarre. I mean, I get it, but like...
Her shirt bothered me the entire movie.
Why?
It just looks so dumb.
Yeah, well, that's the 2000s, baby.
Like, they thought that's what futuristic clothing would look like.
Well, fucking Adrienne... who's named after Adrian King, obviously. She was walking around in like a fucking crop top, and I'm just like, you're a scientist.
She looks like she's dressed for yoga, not science.
A little bit, and then she dies with the best kill in the movie, probably. But yeah, they bring Rowan and Jason onto the ship.
Yep. And
Rowan, they fix up pretty easily.
Nanobots
with nanomachines, son. And then what's her name? Or what's his name? Jason is just kind of vibing, and his face is all fucked up because he's Jason.
That girl felt sorry for him.
Yeah, God bless. We need more girls like her. I need to be a woman like that.
She had the sweater. If she knew a little bit more about Jason, she knew she could have tricked him.
A little bit. Apparently, Betsy Palmer was asked to come back for that holograph section, that holo simulation section.
That would have been cool.
But I think she turned it down probably for money reasons. So, oh my God, there was a big spike just now on the thing. Sorry about that. It must have been because I touched the wire. Forgive me.
Don't touch the wires.
So if that was loud, I'm sorry. But I'm not cutting it. I'm sorry. Everything stays in. We're authentic. We're 100%. 100% Gobby. So, but yeah, Jason's vibing. That girl feels bad. Betsy Palmer said no. Yeah. Classic stuff.
Then the fucking other two assistants who are supposed to be helping.
What was it, Stoney?
Stoney and Kinza. How the fuck do you say her name?
Kindra?
No, it's
Kimbra?
No, hold on.
Somebody that we used to know?
Kinsa.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, she dies. But
well, she's dumb.
She is, but we'll get to that. So, yeah, and then
you got the black dude from Spartacus in this too.
He's also from 300.
He was better in Spartacus.
Of course, he was. He was good in this, though. I liked him in this. I thought he was one of the better characters, actually.
He hasn't aged at all.
Yeah, he has. I mean, yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird. Some people just don't age, man. Like Paul Rudd looks the same. Fucking Robert Pattinson has aged 10 years at this point since he was in Twilight, and he looks exactly the fucking same. Like, it's crazy.
These people have some dumbass names in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Rowan makes sense. That's a fine name. Johnson, a.k.a. Soldier Number 1.
Wow.
Then Dr. Weimer. See, now I said it wrong because of you.
Weimer.
And then Sergeant Marcus. I don't remember who that's supposed to be.
They probably die anyway. It doesn't matter.
Professor Lowe.
There's Waylander, which sounds like a fucking DJ name.
Suneron.
All right. Well,
that was KM's boyfriend.
What the fuck?
Creator or whatever. Yeah, because they never say his name in the fucking movie, I don't think.
Sooneron.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then Janessa.
She
did what she had to do for the grade, and then she almost made it.
Almost.
But she went out like a champ giving a bad pun.
All right, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't want to think about a bad pun right now.
This guy's name was Fat Lou. But he wasn't fat.
He was, probably, a little bit.
Where's the dude in the cowboy hat?
Oh.
That Jason hacked up.
Well, we never see him outside of that chair.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a chunky monkey, dude.
And that guy, then another guy is just named Kicker.
Wow. What a good name. Yeah. What a good movie.
So anyways, Jason senses a disturbance in the sexual force, so he wakes up because he just has to make sure people aren't having unprotected premarital sex.
Yeah, but then he goes and kills him.
Yeah.
Well, at least Stoney. What a name. Fucking Stoney.
He has a problem with sex, but as he's killing Adrian or whatever the fuck her name is, he touches both her boobs.
I thought her shirt was gonna come up. I was like, God damn, what are you doing, brother? And then he dunks her head in the liquid nitrogen.
Too excited.
And then just goes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happened since Friday Part 3 that makes me think maybe he did rape that girl. There's a lot of stuff that's happened.
But yeah,
it's all coming to light. Jason's getting canceled.
Cancel Jason
for fucking raping somebody. Not for all the murders. That's fine.
He has to answer for his true crimes now.
Yeah, but then so the crux of the movie, or the gist of the movie, is basically Jason's a xenomorph on the ship, just wreaking havoc and killing everybody.
And Rowan's like, he's killed over 200 people, and you want to unfreeze him or do something else with him? Like, how dumb are you?
They were like, oh, academic, though. And bro's just there for the money. Jason inadvertently causes the death of, like, 20,000 people on Solaris. Like, that's...
I thought that was hilarious. I completely forgot about that.
That's very funny. That Jason inadvertently caused all those fucking deaths.
He just upped his kill count by an unbeatable standard. It's
ridiculous, dude. He killed so many fucking people. Solaris just gets blown to shit. And it blows up. And the Grendel, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I was going to say they should have made the Solaris place out of the same material that the Grendel was made out of, because it just rammed into that and took no damage.
It was a real 9/11 sequence with taking out those fucking towers.
Yeah.
I told you, Jason that was the idea. Jason Takes Manhattan. It came to fruition in Jason X. But I'm surprised that didn't get censored, because this came out in a post 9/11 world. I'm surprised they kept a fucking ship crashing into a tower. I'm surprised they were pussies about literally everything else that involved it. Like, I'm very surprised. But yeah, so then Jason, he fucks around.
He starts picking off the grunts.
He starts doing what he has to, He starts murking and twerking. He twerks after every kill. That's a weird thing about this movie.
I like when he pushes... what the fuck was he calling that guy? The dude who was like looking up top with the sniper.
Yeah, he pushed him
onto that screw thing, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I found him. He's screwed."
Yeah, see, I knew you'd like that.
What a great line.
I didn't. I was like, that's stupid. That's not how fucking Marines talk to each other. Get the fuck out of here. I hate that. That's stupid. The whole movie's stupid, so it's okay.
I like Jason's hitman kill also. He just comes out of that corner and pulls that guy back and breaks his neck.
Just breaks his neck really slowly.
Quietly.
And then he stabs that one girl on the anchor, I guess is what it is.
Something.
And then the other one, he slits her throat.
Briggs.
Slits her throat.
And then that dude shoots up Jason and gets him stuck on a hook.
No, he gets cut in half.
Yeah, but he shoots him first, and then Jason gets stuck, and then he's talking to the sergeant, and he's like, "Don't take your eyes off of him." And what does dumbass do? Turn his back. Jason fucking teleports off the hook and swap.
Yeah, he cuts him in half, and then old
Sarge is like,
what's his name? Brody.
Brody. Who?
The black dude.
No. Brodsky.
I was close.
Brodsky.
Eddie Brodsky.
He's the last one, and he's like, I'm gonna find Jason and kill him.
And then he gets stabbed through a wall, and he's like, it's gonna take more than that to put down this old dog. And he gets stabbed again, and he's like, yep, that'll do it. And then, which I thought was pretty good. And then, but he's not dead yet. He makes it. He makes it and he cakes it because then Jason shows up and kills the professor.
He just wanted his machete back. He even offers Jason money too. Like, what the fuck's Jason gonna do?
Well,
with money?
he doesn't know anybody. He's like the fucking shithead, fucking idiot from Aliens. It's like they can't comprehend a world where somebody can't be bought off. That's just how capitalists are. Like, that's how they are. So he was just like, oh, I can give you money. I know people. And then yeah,
gets his head cut off.
Yeah. Funny thing, can you imagine if Jason like became a movie star on Earth too? Like that's his calling. It's like fucking Barry, but with Jason Voorhees. He finds his calling
to calm
as an
down
actor.
every now and then.
Yeah, because he gets really mad at the set guy. Kane Hodder is Jason again, obviously, and he's just as good as he always is. But it's funny thing about that Jason being in the real life. So one of the Freddy vs. Jason prospect scripts was where, because this is where the idea of Uber Jason came from. One of the ideas was that there would be a world, it would be the real world, where Friday the 13th just exists as a franchise. And it's apparently based on like a real life serial killer named Jason. So what would end up happening is Freddy Krueger would have like come out of Jason's chest, the real world. That's how he would have come into the real world, and he would have started killing people. And then there was an ad for a Jason in Space movie, like in the real world, and it was basically Uber Jason. It was just Jason with a chrome mask or whatever, and then Freddy was gonna bring that thing to life, and then they were gonna fight each other, and that was gonna be Freddy versus Jason. Which, glad that didn't happen.
Yeah,
because that sounds really dumb, but yeah. So that's just kind of funny. But I can imagine Jason just being a movie star. I think it'd be great.
But anyways, so Jason fucks up the Marines. Then everybody else is like, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do?"
And their idea is to like fuel up a shuttle
and get to it. And then Rowan finds that gun and picks it up and is like, "It's just like riding a bicycle. You never forget."
And then Janessa's like, "What's a bike?"
What's a bike?
White women. Anyway, so Janessa's like, or not Janessa, Rowan's like, I'm gonna go fucking get shit ready, and then she finds Brodsky.
She's very calm and collected, even in this new time period.
That's why she's cool. That's why she's cool. And then she finds Brodsky, and she's like, all right, we got to get out of here. And then Waylander goes to help her a little bit. But then after Waylander leaves, the fat guy gets fucking electrocuted to death. Crutch. He gets electrocuted to death. He dies.
Yeah.
He dies a pretty bad death. And in space at that. And then, yeah. So, that's what happens. And then
fucking, what's his name and KM are like, oh, what's our survival chances?
Yeah.
And she's like, not very good.
Like 12%. And then
like, they kiss and the probability of survival goes up. And I'm like, why?
Because she wants to live now, Justin.
She's going to live no matter what. She gets her head cut off and she's still alive.
You remember in The Walking Dead when what's her name tried to kill herself in season 2? And then Sharon was like, she wants to live. And it's just like, what? What do you mean she wants to live? She tried to fucking kill herself. What do you mean? And it's like, I think her idea was, well, if she wanted to die, she would have like slit her throat or something. Like she would have made sure that it would have killed her. It was it was really stupid logic. I don't remember, but that's what it reminded me of a little bit. Where it's like she wants to live, And I'm just like, no. All right.
Yeah. Fucking Andrea saying that shit about Beth. I was like, that doesn't make
Sharon's the name of the actress,
sense.
I think. Andrea, yeah, that's right. That's her name. What a terrible character. She was a very not good character from a writing perspective and just from a character perspective.
Yeah, they ruined her from the comics.
Not good at all. She was fine in the first season. And then they were like, well, Frank Darabont's gone. What do we do now? I guess we're just going to twiddle our dicks and figure something out. So then they just made her a terrible person.
Fucking whiny and shit. And then she goes with the governor.
And then she dies. Because of that.
She got bit.
Yeah. Because she got bit. That's right. I don't even fucking remember. I stopped caring pretty early on. I hopped off that train a long time ago.
But in the comics, she's way better. She's basically what Michonne is in the show.
Yeah, well, can't win them all. Especially when you fire your showrunner that made the first season such a huge success, despite it only being 6 episodes long. You know? Fuck you, AMC. I'm never going to forgive you for that. It's been 13 years. I'm never going to forgive you. But yeah, so... she wants to live, so her probability goes up, and then they probably fuck.
Then he's like, I gave her an upload. Like, why would you say upload?
She's probably... I bet that shit vibrates, brother. I'm gonna be real. I bet... I know he designed it that way. There's no fucking way he didn't. He was like, bro, I gotta do this.
It's like...
So, wait a minute. If he gave her an upload, what are the implications of this? That his cum... birthed her a new suit and new abilities? Did good dick just make her a bad bitch? What happened? That's what I want to know. What are the this movie's more Cronenberg than I thought. Did Cronenberg rewrite that part too? Because that's something that you'd see in a fucking Cronenberg movie, where it's except you would have seen them have sex probably. But
yeah, but what you said made me think of a line from Orange is New Black. The two guards are just sitting there talking about the tranny, and he's like, you wouldn't actually hit that, would you? And he's like, oh, I live in the present. It used to be a guy, so she knows what a dick likes.
Well.
And he's like, yeah, cyborg pussy, I bet it's fucking perfect.
Jesus Christ. They've made that joke in Archer too, though. That was a joke in that back when that was a thing. When I used to watch it a lot. But yeah, it's something else.
Yeah, so Cam gets the upload she needed to be able to fuck up Jason.
Yeah, the good dick.
Nobody else's guns worked on him, but hers do.
Good dick be doing that. So would she have a cum gun, you think? Is that what that is? Is that what that is? An upload. Jesus Christ.
And then she got that fucking shotgun, just blew Jason's arm off, blew his leg off, then fucking exploded part of his body, and then
his head, yeah.
His fucking head.
Boom. And then she's like, come to mama, and then kisses what's his name. And I'm telling you, good dick be doing that. So I'm just saying, I'm not it'll make you do things you might regret. But
he's acting like Morty with that thing.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. And it's funny because Janessa's like, oh, that's his sex toy. And he's like, it's not like that. And I'm like, all right, buddy, then what's it like, huh? And what's it like? Fella? What's it like?
You didn't have to make her look like a woman just because you were building a robot.
I do think it's funny that he just didn't give her nipples from the onset, though. Maybe that's because he didn't want to fuck her initially.
He was trying to hide it.
But he had to upload somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
You see the kind of guy he is in this movie. He just scrapes by barely.
Yeah.
He's never been laid in his life.
What a good movie. Anyway, yeah, so then she... upload. So then she blows Jason to hell, pretty much. And then they fix up Brodsky.
Yep.
And then that same machine...
that nobody realized they shot him onto.
But what's funny about that is that it says abort sequence, and then it says abort denied, and I'm like, that's so funny. that a computer was just like, nah.
It's because the nanobots were like, there's not enough tissue to regenerate him. And then
so abort, and then it was like abort denied, find something.
So my assumption was that the little nanobots just went and chewed up parts of the ship and brought that back to him.
And then he's Uber Jason.
He's best looking Jason ever.
He's a big boy. He has his little red eyes. And Kane Hodder plays him. How do you expect? Very well. Anyway, he punches KM's head off, and then turns her from a sex doll to a fleshlight, and then everybody tries to stop him, and there's no stopping him. Waylander does sacrifice himself, though.
Well, that's after they realize that another ship heard their distress call, and then...
Oh, yeah, because they were trying to break off the part... Yeah, they're trying to break off a part of the ship so that way...
Yeah, because Rowan was like, well, why don't we just break
that
these walkways?
Their hull won't be compromised. So, yeah, Waylander does that, sacrifices himself. Jason floats off in space, but then punches a hole through the wall. And then Janessa... I was like, oh, she's going to get alien resurrection. She's going to go out like the newborn did. The problem with that is they didn't have the budget. So you don't see it. All you see is little like pieces of bacon just kind of hanging out at the end there. I think that's what James called them in the kill count. It was little pieces of bacon. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it looks like.
She got sucked into the vacuum of space. And she
through a grate.
She said this sucks on so many levels before she died. What a true hero.
I'm glad she's dead. Anyway, so they get away for a little bit, and then that ship's like, "Hey, I'm docked and ready for you to come on." And then they're like, "Oh, well, the door's not opening." And then Brodsky's like, "I gotta do a spacewalk and fix it." So then he does. But meanwhile, Jason's stalking around, and he comes across they set up a
he walks into the hollow
into the hollow deck, which was used earlier.
Oh yeah, for Jason,
for a very shitty looking game, and then Jason breaks Azrael's back like a motherfucker, and then like he's Bane, comic Bane too, not fucking Dark Knight Rises Bane. Like he fucking breaks his back. And then he just hits Dallas, I think is his name, which is the writer. It's the writer playing him. He kind of bangs his head on the wall a couple times, and he dies. A couple times.
Yeah.
It's not like the most graphic head bashing I've seen. Not even close, actually. But yeah, he just kind of, and then he's dead.
Dead.
And so then he goes in there, and then they run a simulation of Camp Crystal Lake, basically. And then then Jason sees old Spunk Boy through the door, I guess, and then he's like, "Oh, you saw me." And then KM's like, "I'm gonna fix it up," and then she spawns two attractive teenage girls, probably teenagers. The actresses aren't obviously. But two teenage campers.
This ain't that other Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then they're like, "Hey, what? You wanna
smoke some pot?"
Yeah.
However the fuck she said it.
In the most Valley Girl accent I've ever heard in my fucking life. I loved it so much. Because it was, hey, do you wanna? They say they want to do something first. And then it's like, do you want to smoke some pot?
Or we could have
premarital sex. And then Jason's like, all right, hold on.
What's going on here?
Hold on a second. And then he beats them to death in the sleeping bags, which is a nice little callback to New Blood, right?
I think so.
And yeah, they die.
But they weren't real to begin with.
They weren't real, but they die. But yeah, apparently that scene was added, just like in Jason Goes to Hell. That scene was added because they were like, well, we got to have nudity somewhere, and we got to have, like, something. So initially they wanted Betsy Palmer there, like I said earlier, but Betsy Palmer was like, nah. And then they were like, all right, well, that's too bad. So then they did that, and then they died for it, Anyway, so they're able to get off, and Brodsky shuts him and Jason in there. The ship explodes, and him and Jason's like floating towards the thing in space somehow because he's just that strong. And then Brodsky intercepts him and takes him to Earth 2. And they burn up in the atmosphere. And I don't care what you say, Jason's dead. There's no fucking way he survives re-entry There's no fucking way he survives getting literally vaporized.
Yeah,
there is no way.
He's dead.
At most, maybe like his fucking arm and mask survived. That is it.
That's how you stop something that regenerates. Burn
There
it
is
up.
no fucking way he's alive.
Just like the Thing.
And then Rowan, KM, and old Spunk Shooter are like, oh, we're safe, or whatever they say. And then KM's like, I'll be back on my feet in no time.
Yep.
As soon as I get some.
Ha ha ha.
And I'm like, all right.
Freeze frame ending.
What a movie. What a movie. And the movie ends with Jason's mask falling into the water. And there was supposed to be a hand that picked it up to tease a sequel. But that never happened. That is the end of the Jason timeline, because Freddy vs. Jason takes place between Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. So this is the end of the timeline. And the last time Kane Hodder played him in a movie, which is a little bit of a shame. But
I mean, remake Jason was fucking great.
Yeah, but Freddy vs. Jason should have been Kane Hodder.
Yeah, that one should have been him.
And it wasn't. It was some fucking other guy. But yeah, so that's Jason X, and Jason's dead. Officially. It's like Halloween Ends. There's no way Michael's alive after that.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Just stop.
He's gone. He's gone. He's
People be
dead.
like, this is where the Thorn will come into the trilogy now.
Yeah.
Next,
right.
They're gonna remake 4, 5, and 6.
He got ground into a paste. I don't think he's coming back.
I remember someone saying that Michael didn't deserve that.
Who are they? My mom? Because that's how my mom feels. Mom's like, they just need to leave him alone. And I'm like, Mom, he's a serial killer. He murders people. And she's like, yeah, because they're mean to him. And I'm like, Mom, he killed his sister. And she's like, oh, well, she was a whore anyway. And I'm like, Mom, come on. I think Mom just likes disturbed children, which is probably why she likes you so much. So, you know, it all works. It all makes sense.
Or it's like people defending Ginger and Ginger Snaps. She's just on her period.
Doesn't she like turn into a cat monster or some shit?
No, she's a werewolf.
Same diff. I don't fucking care.
But it's a fucking play on menstruation and her becoming a woman and all that.
Yeah, Second Sight, I think, released the trilogy, and I was going to buy it, but I didn't. I was like, I already got, Dog Soldiers and American Werewolf in London. I think I'm all right.
I mean, Ginger Snaps is another iconic werewolf movie.
I don't believe you.
Well.
And I'm not going to.
It's a thing.
Until you make us watch it.
And The Howling.
Yeah.
But The Howling gets really bad.
Yeah, well.
After the second one.
Ain't that how it goes? Ain't that how it goes? Jason X is fun. It's a good time. And it's got some good moments.
Yeah.
It doesn't take itself seriously because, again, this is a post-Scream world where nothing can take itself seriously ever again. Ever again.
Ever again.
Ever again. Now horror has to be funny. And then that fad died really quick. And then it became torture porn.
Thank God.
Was the best thing in the world for a while. And then Scream made fun of that with Scream 4 kind of a little bit. Not really. It was, well, a little bit. But not really. Because Ghostface wasn't like rounding people up and making them play a game or anything. So maybe not. Either way, Scream 4 made fun of that. Oh, Scream 4 made fun of remakes. That's right. Because Scream 4 basically is a remake, but it's still a sequel. Because that's how that franchise works. So, and then we got and then after that we got a bunch of remakes after torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that we got elevated horror. And I feel like now we're kind of easing back into a mishmash of everything where we have elevated horror and we got slashers and then Saw X.
Then there's a random monster movie thrown in there.
Saw 11 coming out. There's a Universal horror monster movie coming out directed by the guys that did Ready or Not and Scream 5 and 6. There's another horror movie starring Melissa Barrera that's coming out too. So there's a lot. There's a pretty diverse selection of horror. You even got your fucking shitty fucking jump scare schlock like Smile. You got plenty. You get whatever you want. You got it, baby. And I feel like that's probably how it should be, because I'm tired of whenever something gets popular and then there's just a bunch of copies afterwards.
God, remember when Paranormal Activity was popular?
Yeah, that was the found footage stuff, which was weird because that was like, how many years after Blair Witch was that? Blair Witch was like 99 or 98.
Just forever?
Paranormal Activity was like, what, 2006?
Something like that.
2006, somewhere around there.
Before that, I saw other found footage movies that were way fucking better.
Yeah, found footage ain't great. That's we already know.
I like them when they're actually done right.
All right, well, I don't believe you now. So.
Like, there's a movie called Crow's Nest that's really fucking good.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's, some good ones sprinkled around. But yeah, horror is,
Grave Encounters.
And then you got France, who was doing just whatever the fuck they wanted. Still kind of doing whatever the fuck they want because Raw and Titan exist. So, still just doing whatever the fuck they want over there. God bless them. God bless America. Not really, but, So yeah, Jason X, good movie. That's the whole episode. That's all we're talking about is just that. I'm not reading reviews, except I am. Hold on. Let me get the fucking...
Yeah, you better do that.
Apparently there were, like, comic sequels to this.
Oh, yeah, there are. I heard about that.
But they also, rewrite the events of the movie. Because in one of them, the Grendel just fucking explodes. And everybody dies, except Jason. And then Jason, destroys this fucking, hedonistic, pleasure ship or something. I don't fucking... It's stupid. I don't care. Anyway, on Rotten Tomatoes, Jason X has an approval rating of 19% based on 108 reviews and an average rating of 3.8 out of 10. The critical consensus is Jason goes to the future, but the story is still stuck in the past. Because you can't please people. Cinema Score gave it a C. Roger Ebert gave it 0.5 out of 4 and says this sucks on so many levels because he's a hack. Anyway, the film was better received in the UK, gaining positive reviews from the country's two major film magazines, Total Film and Empire. Empire's review by Kim Newman in particular praised Jason X as wittily scripted, smartly directed, and well played by an unfamiliar cast. This is a real treat for all those who have suffered through the story so far. No, that's fair. That's very fair. Despite the initially negative reception from critics, the film has recently seen a retrospective growth in popularity, particularly among younger fans of the series. Praise has been directed at the film's ability to poke fun at itself and the film series as a whole, as well as inventive death scenes. Adrian's death, in particular, is often singled out as a highlight and was even tested on an episode of Mythbusters, where they found out that it doesn't work that way. But, who cares? It's a fun movie.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be DLC for the Friday the 13th video game, but Victor Miller's lawsuit fucked that up. So that's cool.
They made the ship available. Unless that was a mod map that I saw.
No, it was half finished.
Oh.
And then so with an exploit you could play as Uber Jason on that map, but that was it. It was going to be officially supported, but then it fucked everything up when Victor Miller was like, hey, I'm not getting residuals because I wrote it. And, that's what happens, baby. Money always be doing that. It always be doing that. All right, so let's look at some user reviews from IMDb.
Awesome.
I'm excited. There is a lot of one-star reviews.
Of
Jesus
course
Christ.
There are.
Oh, my God.
These people think they just have to watch a amazing piece of art every time you see a movie.
The worst scary movie of all time.
I would never say that.
Jason X is the worst scary movie of all time. I honestly laughed more than I was afraid.
I think that was the point.
This film is embarrassing to say the least. I would comment on how awful the ending was, but I left 30 minutes into the film. Wow. Though consistently the same, the Jason films have always been somewhat satisfying, but this film is a disgrace to scary movies of all kinds.
How do you know if you didn't finish the movie, though?
I've seen pornography with more satisfying acting. I bet you have. And storylines than Jason X. What fucking porn are you watching, brother? Every fucking situation sums up to just like, hey, I'm a realtor trying to sell this house, and if you're not interested, I'll fuck you so you buy it. Or it's like, oh, hey, I'm your stepsister, and I saw your cock, so I guess I gotta suck it. Or, just whatever the fuck. Oh, I'm your stepmom, and I'm really horny because your dad doesn't fuck me anymore. And it's like, what porn are you watching, brother? I mean, I think there's probably like some section of the internet that has like these these stories that are crafted by loving hands that just have like hardcore sex in them. I'm sure that exists, but come on, brother. Come on now. What porn are you watching? Come on, dude. The premises are so... And that's not even counting gay porn. Gay porn is literally just like, wow, you have a cock, me too. And then they just start sucking each other off. I'm not joking. Gay porn is like the horniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It is ridiculous. There's not even any build up to it half the time. It's literally just like artistic shots of them, and then next thing I know, they're fucking. And I'm just like, hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised because I'm used to that build up of just like of having to scroll through a bunch of shit. And now and then with this it's just like, oh well, there we go. We're just taking off. All right. That's how it is, baby. That's just the way of the world. God bless. God bless it. That's how it works. Now you know. Now you know. The more you know. Glad I could tell you. Well, it's your fault for imagining it. I'm just telling you what happens. If you're picturing it in your head, that's not on me.
I'm not.
So, it's too bad for you, brother. But it ain't too bad for me. Because there's some certified hood classics in there. Anyway.
Okay, what's this movie critic have to say?
He also says, I honestly feel sorry for anyone who was even tempted to cover their eyes at one point in this film. What does that mean?
What?
I soon discovered what the ending was, but I'm not going to tell you because it was so embarrassing. I just can't go on with this review.
I mean,
awful.
I'm sure there was somebody who found this scary.
Jacob John Taylor probably did. I can't wait to see his review.
Josh is still scared of Doom 3, so I'm pretty sure someone was scared of this movie.
All right, but those little like upside down head spider guys I don't like them. No. Jason X is not awesome or even watchable. It is horrible. It appears that Friday the 13th, 13... Wait, 8.
What?
No, you fucking spelled 8 wrong in Roman numerals, you fucking idiot. He put XIII. That's 13, you dumb piece of shit. Did a terrible thing by motivating Jason to wander off from the camp. There was no motivating. He was just on a... What? Okay. All right, you're already putting too much thought into this shit. Let's get real. Slasher films almost always succeed and usually have a large audience, but Jason X isn't even slasher. It is the worst worthless science fictional movie ever.
Science fictional movie?
Not only that, the scares were too cheap for television. The makers tried to make Jason the same scary guy he was back at camp. 1 out of 10. If you want to see a good movie, rent Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th, 1 through 7, Skinned Alive, Dead Next Door, Puppet Master, or a new favorite, The Ring. Okay, this was written in 2002, so he's probably talking about the American remake, which is fine. Naomi Watts is in that. I love me some blonde Australians. Don't get me wrong. But I highly doubt he watched Ringu, which is the original, which is a shame because, it's Ringu. It's good. It's like not watching Ju-On, Like, just like, oh, I've only seen The Grudge. Okay, then watch Ju-On. It's much better. It's so much fucking better. It's not even funny.
I don't even want to think about those movies, though.
That was a hellish time that we experienced. That was this year, wasn't it? That was a hellish time where we were just fucking trying to get through those movies, but shit kept coming up in our personal lives. And then the movies were just not fucking good past, like, the first 2.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Oh, my God. For recommendations on other titles, please check the other movies I have commented on by clicking on my name above this comment section.
And then, just like another review you read last time, this dude says Sleepaway Camp. I'm like...
this is the same dude.
Oh, it's the same
guy?
Okay. I've seen all 3. They're not fucking amazing.
They're Friday the 13th ripoffs.
Basically.
Literally. That first one in particular is literally just a Friday the 13th ripoff. And the twist is just, oh, but what if they were a girl with a penis? And that's the whole movie. That's the whole fucking movie. It's the same. It's just Friday the 13th, though. But instead of it just being a mom, it's just a girl that was, forcefully transitioned. I think
Boy,
that's
that
what it was.
Forcefully transitioned.
Yeah. But then in the second and third movies, they get, SRS, which is bottom surgery. So now they're full woman, and it's just like, but I thought you didn't. What? It's just that franchise is just fucking weird. I don't know.
In the fucking second one, she just starts killing because somebody pissed her off.
Hey, man.
She's like, okay, this one dude did it. Now the rest you gotta pay.
Hey, man.
I don't remember the third one that much.
There's the fourth one, too.
There's a fourth?
Yeah.
Have we seen it?
Return to Sleepaway Camp.
I haven't seen that one.
And Felissa Rose comes back. So.
Okay, so I guess I haven't seen all of them.
No, you haven't. There's Return to Sleepaway Camp, which is the fourth one. Anyway, yeah, he said that. What a silly man. The worst Jason movie of all. Wow, was I ever disappointed. I rented this movie expecting to be scared to death. Instead, I fell asleep. The future Jason was just too stupid. I would much rather see him cutting up teens in the woods at Camp Crystal Lake any day than to see any more of this crap. All right, buddy. That's a weird way to phrase that. And I know I've phrased things weird. Like when I said two
they're all talking
attractive teenage women. That was phrased poorly, but you get my point.
They all talk like the first 9 movies are masterpieces compared to this one.
A painful death. I am going to keep this brief, as laboring over a review for this would be a fruitless waste of time for me and you. Acting and performances were typically laughable. As for the horror, we have all seen more frightening displays on the Disney Channel. The suspense factor was butchered from several angles, not least by the seemingly randomized synthetic score and game show type camera work. Excuse me. Hold on. The score is fine. What are you talking? Whatever.
Yeah, the music's fine.
The violence was bloody but not excessive and may have been a little more thrilling if I was not completely unenthusiastic about the entire setup. Still, nothing was gruesome enough to penetrate my skepticism. Way to misspell that. Worst of all, the pitiable concept was not played up as a funny cause it's rubbish gag. Even for a Friday the 13th movie, it's just plain rubbish.
This guy's dumb.
Sounds like it. He's using a lot of big words to show off that he's actually really smart, though, Justin.
Oh, but speaking of the music, I like that part where Cam initially shoots him down, and each time he gets back up, the music spikes back.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
See, that's good. That's good writing. That's good. God, people are writing essays about this shit. It's this all over again. Utter nonsense. This installment was an utter nonsense. It damaged the already partial damaged franchise. The story was nonsense. The screenplay was nonsense. The performances couldn't have been more bad. The direction was disgusting. The special effects were as bad as they could be. And the whole movie was so boring. Friday the 13th should have ended with fourth part, only as every installment afterwards damaged this once an iconic franchise. Thank God that this one was the last installment. Overall, I would never recommend this piece of nonsense to anyone, not even to the fans of Friday the 13th franchise. It was never iconic, though. It just made a lot of money. That's all. I mean, it's iconic now in retrospect, but at the time it really wasn't.
Damn.
Like, it was just it was just trash. It was junk food. It was the Limp Biscuit of slashers. That's what it was. That's what it's always been. Y'all just like it now because it's like, whatever. All right. What a joke. This is total garbage and should have never been made. Looks like filmmakers are tapping a dry well. Stop the stupid Jason crap and let it die. I wonder if he liked part 9.
Probably.
Worst of the worst. Never before have I been a third of the way through a film and wanted it to end immediately. This movie is so bad, boring, cliched, unoriginal, repetitive, and totally juvenile that it's beyond expression. It's simply unwatchable. From the non-stop bad humor to the horrible acting to the practically non-existent script, it's just a mess. Okay, practically non-existent script. What a weird thing to say about the fact
a movie about Jason in space.
People say lines though. Like, what do you mean non-existent script? Like, there's obviously a script, you idiot. What the fuck? You could have used one of your fucking a different adjective for that.
Like, aside from certain people in the other 9 movies, this one had the best acting to me.
Yeah, Rowan was good. I thought. I mean, yeah. Well, the acting is cheesy because it's like Scream. It's cheesy on purpose. Like that's the point. Because we live in a post-Scream world. You have to remember that when you're watching this. You have to remember that. Just like I tried to remember that when I watched H2O, and guess what? I didn't like it. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. What a silly man. If you've seen the first one, let alone 2 through 9, then this will simply be everything you've already seen, but in space. Yeah, the violence and gore isn't shocking or frightening. It's just a total bore. Near the end, Jason gets mutilated, but then comes back to life. What do you know? Stronger than ever. Yawn. Is this supposed to be new? This is by far the #1 movie on your movies to watch only after you've seen everything else list. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Horrible in the wrong way. Is there a right way?
Yeah, how are you horrible in a right way?
This movie made me cry because it was so pathetic. Seriously, this movie is like the worst I've ever seen in my life. It's not scary at all, and it's really stupid, and there's a robot that loses her head. Come on, people. Don't waste your money on this crap. I'm sorry I did. Go see Halloween 8 or something worth your time. Yes, I know it doesn't come out until July 19th, but still go see anything but this.
Halloween 8. What the fuck is he talking about?
Resurrection.
Oh.
They wrote this review before Resurrection.
What?
They were so sure that Halloween 8 was going to be a fucking banger that they said, go see that instead.
I wonder how disappointed they were.
They were so sure that it was going to be a classic. And it's a classic something. Michael Myers is lots better. Jason gets split up in pieces and gets put back together, and then he has red eyes and he flies in space and he's all metal. I knew it as going to be horrible because every single one in the series is horrible. How can you think this is good anyways? Watch Michael Myers. He actually has a plot. Oh yeah, Jason's so good. He gets a total of 2 videos and 2 DVDs and movie rentals because they are so low budget. What the fuck? Michael Myers has a lot more than that. I say go look at your vote and think about and say to yourself, what was I thinking, and get to Michael Myers. If you don't think my way, please tell me about it. What did you just say, dude? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck what was that?
All I can gather is that he likes Michael better than Jason.
I mean, yeah.
But his reasoning is dumb.
I mean, yeah, Michael's the one that I got, yeah, that's my boy. But specifically Halloween 1 Michael. But, I also got that Jason portrait, so,
Yeah.
No brain at all. How can someone make such a stupid movie? Not even a 4-year boy can make such a bad script.
A 4-year boy.
Awful. What happened? Wasn't anyone on charge to read the story of the film to advise that this piece of puke was not edible? And the end was so bad, so I leave it to make you think that this crap can reemerge once more, that you can not less than laugh. So much money, so few imagination. That should be our fucking tagline.
So much money, so few imagination.
The crappy movie is made of 100 little thefts from 100 movies. What do you think movies are?
That was the point.
What do you think movies are, dude? Do you think every movie is original? Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my head. Oh, okay. Oh my god, this is taking me back to my Letterboxd days when I'd see the fucking stupidest takes. The only reason to stay to the end is to see how farther such a lack of ideas can go, and it's amazing. It keep on going with the same stubbornness of Jason to clinch to life. I pity the actors who took part on this movie. I bet they don't.
Yeah, they got paid.
They got paid, baby.
This is like all the people that are just not convinced that Spider-Man shouldn't have should have been Game of the Year.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's just console fans. I don't know. I mean it was the same thing. You had a bunch of Xbox guys that were upset that Starfield wasn't even nominated.
Starfield was not going to win either.
Because it's not a good game.
Zelda wasn't going to win either, you fucking nerds.
It's not a good game. Starfield is not... I don't know. Starfield's just fucking... I don't care. I don't care anymore. I stopped caring after fucking New Vegas because New Vegas was good. And then everything else is Fallout 4 wasn't great. Starfield's not great,
Not great.
Baldur's Gate 3 won, and that's cool. I wanted Alan Wake 2 to win on some level, and it did. It won like best narrative and shit. Also, special rest in peace to James McCaffrey, everybody. My man, my boy, Max Payne himself.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Has finally died. And it ruined my fucking day.
His nightmares are over.
He died today, and it fucking hurt. I got very sad very fast. Because I don't know, man. James McCaffrey, like listen, Max Payne is one of those like formative experiences for me where it's like I remember seeing it for the first time on my uncle's Xbox, and it's just so fucking cool with the bullet time shit and the narration and everything. So I've replayed those games a million fucking times across like my life. And James McCaffrey's voice was a big part of why I loved him. I remember being so hyped for Max Payne 3 and playing the shit out of that. And, and then he was Trench in Control. And he's, Alex Casey in Alan Wake 2. It's Thomas Zane in Alan Wake 1, I think. But, he's just an amazing, amazing fucking voice actor that definitely got taken way too soon. Just like Kevin Conroy before him. It's a damn shame that he's gone. And yeah, it ruined my fucking day. I get into work, I go on fucking Twitter, that's the first thing I fucking see, and I'm just like, what? Fucking terrible, man.
Aren't they remastering the first two games?
They're remaking
them.
So at this point, I wouldn't want anybody to replace him.
You can't.
It's like when they replaced Sam Fisher, or they replaced Michael Ironside as Sam Fisher in Blacklist.
They'll just get Mark Wahlberg since he was in the movie.
I'd probably find Sam Lake and slit his throat. But I wouldn't do that.
No,
I love Sam Lake.
Either.
I love Sam Lake. Sam Lake's my boy too.
Did you ever watch that movie?
No. Why the fuck?
It was so fucking weird.
Well, I mean,
like the whole drug thing, making them hallucinate like angels and shit.
Well, that's supposed. So okay,
it was weird.
It was trying to do, because that's what happens in the game, but like it works in a video game. It doesn't really work in a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I when I was talking to Mike about it earlier, our old coworker, he was like, well, they could get Ron Perlman. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably the only guy that could do it, but I don't want anybody to do it. I don't want anybody to replace him. I don't want anybody to replace Max Payne. That James McCaffrey is Max Payne, dude. He definitely was in Part 3, especially since he did all the mocap and everything. Funny thing about Max Payne 3 was when it initially was announced, Rockstar was like, hey, we're going to get a different guy to play Max because this Max Payne is older and he's more world weary, so we're just going to get a different guy. James McCaffrey found out and literally like contacted Rockstar and said, fuck no, I am playing him. I will do whatever the fuck I have to do. He's like, I'll make myself. He's like, I'm fucking playing him though. He's like, I am Max Payne. It's like Kevin Conroy as Batman, man. You can't take that away, you know? It's a fucking shame that he's gone now. And as far as the remakes, if they don't just use the old recordings, or if the voice work isn't done yet, just fucking cancel it, dude. Like I don't want the games are perfectly playable on modern systems with some fan patches and stuff. Like I don't want remakes if James McCaffrey isn't there, you know? And if we do get that, then it'll be a full circle moment where the first and last thing that I ever, was exposed to him from is Max Payne. And that's, I mean, he's kind of Max Payne in Alan Wake 2, more or less, but either way, it's a very sad loss. And he had fucking cancer. I fucking hate it, dude. Cancer has killed so many fucking good people, not just in the celebrity world, but like in general. And it's just like a fucking plague. And I wish we could find a way to fucking end it. But, it's more important to give money to other things, apparently. that I'm not going to talk about because then I'll never shut up and our fucking podcast will get taken down from iTunes and Spotify and everything. And YouTube will find me and assassinate me if I fucking say what I want to say. But
they'll send Mr. Beast after you.
Yeah.
If there's somebody in the world that can get away with anything, it's him.
Fucking Diana contacts him. All right, Agent Beast. Here's your target. And fucking just sends him after me. Oh my god. But yeah, R.I.P. man. That's a huge loss, a huge fucking loss, and you know, a little bit closer to heaven. And yeah, it just breaks my heart.
You saying that made me think of that dumb Five Finger Death Punch song.
Oh, it's not. It's a fucking it's the name of a chapter in Max Payne 1. I think it's just a bit closer to heaven. I don't know if it's a little bit closer to heaven.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
I just mostly remember those dream sequences horrifying me.
Yeah, that ending, the Max Payne 3 ending is going to hit a lot harder now too. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to replaying that probably today. I was gonna replay the games anyway, but I was gonna beat Alan Wake 2 first, so I'm probably still gonna do that. But yeah, God, it sucks so much. But he lives on, and he will continue to live on. So, R.I.P.
On and on.
But anyway, back to shitty fucking reviews. Wow. Okay. Please, in the name of Michael Myers and all that is holy, stop making these movies. First, this series copped the white mask from Halloween. Second, it made countless dumb sequels in the name of gore and cheap money. But now, maybe earlier, it has started to repeat itself. When you can't even come up with inventive ways of killing people, especially when that is supposed to be the draw, it is time to call it a day. This series has delved into creative incest. What? The best part is stolen from one of the lame-named predecessors, when JV bashes a CG girl-infested sleeping bag into tree. It is funny, because JV is such a moron. When Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan sleeps with Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday, you get this dirty blonde little piece of trailer trash. Jesus Christ. P.S. Lisa Brent Spiner called, you got some explaining. What the fuck? I'm not even gonna.
This guy's on something.
Yeah, absolutely. In space, no one can hear you quip. Many of these Jason movies are notoriously bad, so I assume this would qualitatively sit among them, but it's truly bonkers how terrible it is. It's not even really a movie, it's a bad Battlestar Galactica knockoff, with Jason mercifully killing the characters so that we don't have to endure their unbearable quips any longer. What's his condition? He's screwed. Excuse me while I piss my pants from laughter. God, I wrote that one, I guess. This sucks in so many levels. You fucking misquoted it, you idiot. Now all we need is Bride of Jason and the stupid will be complete. Hold on, brother. Hold on. I will not accept any Bride of Chucky slander in this house.
Yeah, that movie's great.
I will not fucking... Are you kidding me? You think Bride of Chucky is bad? You're stupid, dude. You're fucking stupid. And I curse your fucking bloodline, all right? How fucking dare you,
yeah,
dude?
now Pumpkinhead's coming for you.
Bride of Chucky is so fucking good. I love that movie so... Oh, my God. I love that movie so much. That and Seed of Chucky are, like absolutely... two of the best fucking slashers I've ever seen in my life. Because they're so much fun. They're a lot of fun. Seriously, slashers are stupid. This slasher series was always stupid. The first one was serviceable and never took any chances, and I'm so sick of villains that don't die. At least the final chapter in A New Beginning changed things up. This movie is worse than those. Yes, I said it.
What?
A New Beginning, huh? One of the most boring fucking movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now he's gone into space? What's next? This movie is the 10th sequel to Friday the 13th. The number is gigantic, considering that the franchise never had a single spark of quality. This time, imagination led the writers to take Jason into space in an attempt to give the public something they had not yet seen. But changing the clothes does not make the content better, and the franchise has never had good content. And that's hardly likely to happen. You said nothing. Like, you said nothing, dude. This guy just says, meh.
Meh.
It's a film that attempts to be great and taken seriously, but how can...
I don't think it was trying.
But how can you take it seriously after? How can you take it seriously after you've seen Jason as a demon slug thing possessing people's bodies? Honestly, I cannot consider this film canon, spelled like as in a cannon, or in the same series. Weren't these films meant to be taken seriously? No. By God, what were they thinking? Bro has never watched a slasher. Horrible. This movie is very horrible. Every actors and actress are so horrible.
Actors and
literally the worst movie I've ever seen. What was with that nipple scene? Like, seriously, someone had to write that. Yeah, someone did, bitch. What's your point? Worst movie ever. Simply the worst movie ever made. Pure garbage. Acting is awful. Plot and Jason is awful. Pure garbage. All right. Ignominy Part 2. The only thing I liked about this film were some of the creative death scenes. I mean, some of these kills were just great, and by 2001, the MPAA sort of took their shades off that have been on since 1986 as Jason Lives. This film is so ridiculous and really marked the end of the series, and the ideas had just dried out. I mean, why not? Pinhead, Predator, and Leprechaun were in space, so let's explode Kane Hodder to the outer regions of experience. Just awful in every department, and it's no wonder why 2 years later they paired Jason and Freddy up, since every idea had been exhausted. Terrible film, but not as bad as the previous Jason Goes to Hell, which takes the cake of worst film in the franchise. All right, pal. I humbly disagree. I humbly disagree.
I think it's the best one.
It's pretty good, yeah. Yes and no about Jason, and a few beeps. Oh, boy. It's one of these. So you want to see a beepy movie so you can beep your date? Be sure not to watch Jason X because it's such a beep your date will not want to beep you anymore. Yes, it's stupid. Yes, it's more sci-fi than horror. Yes, Sean Cunningham is still member of the crew. No, this is not exactly another Friday the 13th movie. At least not one like you suspect one to be. Yes, Jason has got some new looks, so he doesn't look like Jason anymore. No, it is not a sequel, since Jason Goes to Hell ended with Freddy and Jason. But don't be afraid, Freddy and Jason will battle each other in the next Friday the 13th chapter, Freddy vs. Jason. Just skip this beep and watch Freddy and Jason instead. By the way, during that movie, your date will definitely want to beep you.
What?
So Freddy vs. Jason will get you laid? Is that what he's trying to say?
I don't think so.
I guess, dude. I don't fucking care. What a film, dude.
There's one sex scene in that movie.
Yeah, but I guess
unless he's counting the fucking dude that gets on the girl who's asleep, and then Freddy's like, "Nah, she was mine."
Oh, okay. I thought Freddy was gonna be a valiant hero. How out of character that would have been.
I mean, he technically was saving her by killing her. She wouldn't have felt the rape.
God, that's some Eden Lake shit. Anyway, Jason X is one of the most mind-numbing films there is. This film has got to be one of the most stupid films I have ever seen. Not only does it lack storyline, it also has unbelievable characters. Far from being a grisly horror, it is turned into an almost slapstick comedy. That's the point. That's the point, brother. How the fuck do you not understand that? I love to watch a good horror film, and when I saw this advertised, I thought it might be good to watch, but as I watched it, I began to realize that I had a big mistake. As about 5 minutes into the film, I began to fall asleep. There was not one thing gripping in the storyline, and was not one thing, and nothing made me want to keep watching. But I made myself watch it to the end just to see how predictable the end would be, and in my view, this film was extremely predictable and crap. Yeah, good job. Good job. A lot of people think this is the worst movie ever made.
Well, they're dumb.
What the fuck?
What?
Runaway as it has HIV on it?
Jason has HIV.
What the fuck?
He has space AIDS.
All right.
See, but this is the one I always saw sitting on video store shelves. That was the first thing I saw of it before I finally saw it on TV. I just always see it at the video store or at Walmart, and I just stare at the case because it looked so fucking cool.
Yeah, and it was. This was also the first movie that was ever made like completely digitally, like as far as like a digital transfer goes. So it was shot on film, but then they scanned it in digitally, and it was sent to theaters that way. Pretty cool.
Nice. And
just want to stab this movie. This movie is horrible. Everybody thought it would be the Blade 2 of the Friday the 13th series, but it's crap. This belongs on the bottom 100. Get the other sequels out of there, this is way worse. I mean, even number 4 was better than this. You don't like number 4? This movie is worse than an enema. Outside in the summer in Texas. David Cronenberg, why are you even in this movie? Okay, first of all...
Blade sucks.
First of all, you're talking about an enema outside in the summer in Texas. Why are you thinking about stuff going up your butt in the summer in Texas, brother? You got something you want to tell the class? You got, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying. George is coughing. He'll be all right. He's going to be okay. Bad effects. I mean, yeah, the CG was kind of bad, but, like, it's whatever. It came out in 2002. Who cares?
I mean, the severed head looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
At least it was a practical thing.
Rip-off, hoser. Yeah, there's Jason Voorhees, so that means more graphic ways to kill people. But this one is a poor rip-off of the Alien movies. It was also filmed in Toronto, so that's why Jason wears a hockey mask. He's Canadian. I hate this man.
Yeah, that's why he wears a hockey mask.
Stink burger. Awful, awful, awful. Did I say awful? Unbelievable plot. Bad acting. Tried to be funny but failed. Obvious CGI effects. Most importantly, a huge insult to the horror genre. 80s horror movies were at least original. Okay. This was not. 1 out of 10. All right, buddy. Somebody's dumb.
What do you mean poor effects?
Was this supposed to be a comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
If not, this was the most god-awful movie I've ever seen. If so, this was still the most god-awful movie I've ever seen. The pitiful thing about the Jason trilogy is he doesn't even bother killing camp counselors anymore. He just kills anybody in sight.
I mean, that's what he was pretty much doing in the first place. His mom was the one motivated to kill camp counselors, not him.
At least Halloween and such stick to the original story somewhat. Okay, brother.
What?
However, I must say I was on the floor laughing when Jason decided to kill the 2 virtual reality camp counselors by pounding them against one another while enclosed in sleeping bags. Now, that was entertainment. God, some of these guys are really telling on themselves, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. Some of these dudes.
So fucking funny.
Some of these dudes are like, yeah, I love watching grown women who are playing teenagers get fucking pounded to death, brother. And I'm like, oh, yeah? I bet you do. I bet you do. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. These people are writing essays. They should apologize. Wow, I cannot believe they took a cult classic like Jason and made this film. I'm sorry. A cult classic means it wouldn't have made any fucking money. And guess what? Friday the 13th made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Oh, not only are the lines absolutely ridiculous, everything about this movie looked like it should have been played on Mystery Science Theater. From the boy making passes at his girl robot to the shredder-looking Uber Jason. Only watch this film if you want to laugh. Let the bodies hit the floor. I went to the theater expecting to sit there with my friends and make fun of this movie. We even went in the afternoon because we didn't want to pay $8 to see it. But after the first scene of the movie, our laughter was silenced. We were captivated by it. The plot is so interesting and so believable. It's the best Jason movie to date. I can only hope they decide to make another one and that it is as good as this one. Wow, how sarcastic.
Yeah.
The most pathetic movie ever. I can't believe that was part of Friday the 13th movies. I enjoy that classic horror since I was a teenager, but I am lost for words. I can't find any bad enough words to describe what have you done with that horror series. Damn you. How low will some people go for money making an Old Glory? What? Thank God I didn't pay to see that move, but I just downloaded it from web. Blah.
I mean, even if you didn't pay for it, you still took the time to download it.
What a guy. A complete waste of money and time. This film was quite simply a complete waste of my money and time. The acting was pathetic, the storyline was a joke, and some scenes were simply laughable. They were so bad. The only good thing to comment on was the way most of the victims died. They were creative. Overall, I give this film 0 out of 10. He says there's a good thing and then gives it a 0. That's funny. Jesus Christ. There's so many of these 1-star reviews, bro. Oh my god. Now we look at the 10-star reviews.
Have fun.
Let's look at the 10-star reviews. Okay, well, that's an essay. I'm not reading that. LMAO. I'm not a hardcore horror slasher enthusiast, so I enjoyed this movie. Thought it should belong in the comedy horror section if there was one. Ugh.
There is one.
A movie I could enjoy watching again. This is sort of a Jason meets Star Trek blend. Certainly not a typical horror film. No doubt hardcore horror slasher films are the ones giving it a rating of 1. I thought Uber Jason was great. Lexa Doig was hot. I'm not gonna disagree with him there. The scene where Jason beats one topless camping chick with the other topless camping chick and their own sleeping bags in the VR room was hilarious. Some funny tongue-in-cheek one-liners as well. More nude babes would have been nice though. Smiley face. Some of these guys are really telling on themselves, Justin.
Yeah. 3, 2. No, that happened.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
You clicked on something? How dare you?
On an accident.
Hilarious. This movie was excellent. It has got each and every cliche that a sci-fi horror movie should have. I was about die of laughter when I saw this movie. All of you who liked and rolled on the floor laughing when you saw the early Jason movies will absolutely love this one. Haha. Wow. I can only say that it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. The best in the series. After seeing all the other 9 Friday the 13th movies by now, people would think they were boring, but I am a fan of blood, guts, and gore, and simply Jason was getting tired out protecting his beloved Camp Crystal Lake, but the 10th in the series takes a new turn with Jason being in space and committing many a few good deaths like freezing a woman's head and shattering it, but stays faithful to the Friday the 13th tradition of the return of the much-beloved machete. For fans of horror or Friday the 13th, this is a must-see. Roll on Jason 11. That was all one sentence.
I mean, Jason used a wide variety of shit just besides the fucking machete.
Yeah.
Anything he got his hands on, he used.
Yeah. Better than most of the Friday films. Okay, I have seen this movie twice, and I think that it is better than most of the Friday films, but still, it wasn't the best of them, though. But Jason in Space was better than most ideas. I thought this movie was better than parts 5, 7, and 9. The kills are pretty cool, and it has a good body count. The only thing that I hate about this movie is that the acting is terrible. People start to die like every 2 minutes, and the most of the characters are annoying and make dumb jokes. This is probably the least scary of the series, but it is very, very entertaining. And I still recommend watching this if you're a Jason fan. I give this film a 6 out of 10 good. He said that on a 10 out of 10 review.
What a genius.
Yeah. What? Best film dus far. I loved it. Freaking amazing film. For sure hope to find more films like this. Thanks, German man, I'm going to assume. Awesome. Better than the original. You got that right, baby. Jason X is by far one of the most coolest, scariest, funniest, and most well-done movies I have ever seen. The special effects are incredible, and Jason has his best looks near the end. The jokes in this movie are extremely funny and well thought out. Jason X is a must-see for every horror fan worldwide. 5+ out of 5. Real mad-ass movie.
5+ out of 5.
I think he meant to say badass, dude.
No, he meant to say mad-ass.
Mad-ass, dude. Great movie. This is definitely one of the best Friday movies. It's the least New Line Cinema could do after releasing the bad Jason Goes to Hell. This is nothing like Leprechaun 4 or Hellraiser Bloodlines. This is just basically your standard Jason slasher. Only difference is that it takes place on a spaceship and he gets an upgrade. The cyborg Jason only lasts for about 20 minutes of the movie, so don't get too excited. But overall, it's great. Just wish the writers would give some explanation or take off from the Friday film before. All right. It's fun. Though I wish it had a bigger budget and a bigger focus on scares, it's still a bloody good time. Fun and refreshing Demolition Man spin. Fun and refreshing, the world and universe change, but Jason stays the same. I think it was a worthwhile addition. A part of me thinks the future timeline gives the series a more epic canvas. Yeah, probably. Probably, brother. Probably. All right, let's see what else we got. Best of the series. Jason X is one of the best of the series. It has comedy mixed with horror, and you have to admit the special effects for a Friday the 13th film are pretty good. Don't listen to these idiots who go on and on about how bad the acting is. Friday the 13th isn't trying to win an Oscar or be the summer blockbuster. Anyway, Friday the 13th is too good for the Oscars. Everyone knows only crap is nominated. Well, take my advice. Just sit back, have fun. This movie is great. You'll laugh. You'll jump. You'll have fun. I will keep my fingers crossed that this is the start of a comeback for the franchise. Oh, man. I got bad news, brother. Okay, and then he wrote a second review. I went to see Jason X twice this weekend. I was shocked this movie was so good. I was not expecting anything like this. It was funny, but yet kept you on the edge of your seat. It never slowed down, and that's what I like. This proves that Jason would be around for at least a few more sequels. At least we can hope. Jason lives. This movie is awesome. A must-see. I want to give this guy a hug because I think he is a fucking emotional wreck. Oh my god. That poor man. He had his hopes up. Good movie. Was expecting a better script. I was glad to see a modern version of Jason. Although the special effects were great, it lacked a few elements like suspense and a solid script. I hope the next movie will be more serious. Until then, I will settle for the DVD. What? Whatever.
What? He's settling for the... Okay.
Yeah. Very entertaining. Everyone knows that Friday the 13th, after the first one, the sequels really sucked. But believe it or not, this one is pretty good besides the point that every killer is in space. But anyways, this movie is pretty good. Lots of action, some humor, and Jason famous machete. I give this movie an 8 out of 10 for being a fun movie to watch. Is better than what I expected, so I recommend it. Enjoy. He said that on a 10 out of 10 review. I have to keep stressing that. Why are you giving it like... Why are you... it's so confusing. Oh my god. God, it really is Monday, because I'm yawning, brother.
But are you scrawning?
Stop it. Stop it. I hope you get shot on the way home, brother.
Wow. That's horrible.
I hope, well, it won't happen. Probably. Dude, this one guy wrote like 10 reviews for this fucking movie. Oh my god. Oh man, he really likes it. And in every single one, I bet he says, "Oh, hopefully we get more." Oh, he's trying to speak it into experience. All right, Justin, the main event. Here we are. Jacob John Taylor 1 returns. Are you ready?
Fuck yeah.
Are you ready? Part 10 is scarier than part 1, 2, and 5. Oh my god. We already got an all-timer. This is a very scary movie. There are scarier than movies. Friday the 13th 3 is the scarier. Friday the 13th final chapter is also scarier. Friday the 13th Jason 6 Jason Lives is also scarier. Friday the 13th 7 The New Blood is also scarier. Friday the 13th 8 Jason Takes Manhattan is also scarier. Jason Goes to Hell, the final
is also scarier.
Is also scarier. Hold on. Oh my god. Still, this is a very scary movie. It is scarier than Friday the 13th. It is also scarier than Friday the 13th 2. It is also scarier than Friday the 13th 5, A New Beginning. This is a great movie. It has great acting. It also has a great storyline. It also has great special effects. This movie a must-see. Jason is a zombie, so I consider this horror fantasy. Oh my god. Oh, he said it. And this movie takes place in space in the future. This is the only Friday the 13th movie that does. I don't know why that made me. I'm just imagining this guy like walking up to me in like a fucking restaurant and just being like, "Did you know that Jason X is the only Friday the 13th movie that takes place in space? None of the other ones are like that." Like, I'm just imagining that shit. Oh my god. Freddy vs. Jason is a prequel to this movie. Freddy is a ghost. Both of these characters get killed off and come back more than 3 times. See this movie. It is a good movie. I knew people like this movie. The rating, it got 5 out of 10. People who like this movie need to speak up. And come on, really, Freddy vs. Jason is a good movie, but Freddy vs. Jason is not better than this. Oh my god. Holy shit. What a fucking review, dude.
What a hero.
Oh. This guy gives props where it's due. Kane Hodder makes this ridiculous setup work. You have to be able to have fun with long-time running horror franchises. Friday the 13th is one of those and arguably the most chronologically messed up of the great sequel spewers. Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Phantasm, Child's Play, Texas Chainsaw. Jason in space in the future? Why the hell not? Friday the 13th Part 10. Awesome. But 6 is still the best. 6 is still the best, but X is underloved. Nice.
It's like in Leprechaun in Space, they never call him a leprechaun. He's an alien.
Yeah, well. Loved it. I left the theaters back in April in complete amazement at how good Jason X was. I know, Jason X is not an Oscar-worthy film, nor is it part of the top 250, but it was still entertaining as hell. Being a big fan of the Friday franchise, I found Jason X to be a great entry into the long-running series. This film is not really scary at all, but it is action-packed and very entertaining. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD. Overall, 8 out of 10. What a good guy. A lot of people talking about how much they love Kane Hodder. This guy just says comedy?
Comedy.
Excellent film. The director-writer decided to go complete camp with this one. Ha ha ha. Great way to go. This is great campy fun with the splatter you expect from a Friday film. I can't wait for us to do like Terrifier and read the fucking reviews on that. I cannot wait.
You know, there's going to be somebody that's just like, what's the point? It's just torture and shock value. Blah, 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 blah. Or there's going to be somebody that overanalyzes the story of 2. It's like...
Oh, they already do that, brother. Let me tell you.
Oh, my God.
They already do that. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. Oh. Ooh, a concrete skate park coffee table.
Concrete skate park coffee table.
What more could you need, brother?
A skateboard.
You just get Tech Deck.
Do they even make those still?
Why don't you find out?
I don't think they do. Ever since schools started confiscating those things.
They did, I remember. They just hated to see a white boy winning. In your case, at least. In mine, it was a Mexican. But yeah,
no,
here we are.
Most people thought I was Indian.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, that was Jason X, everybody. Justin, what are your final thoughts on Jason X?
I love this movie. It's everything that I like about bad horror movies. It's ridiculous, but it knows it. It's funny. It's gory. Well, not super gory, but, I mean, it tried and accomplished it. It's like, if you can't have a good time watching this movie, then there's just something wrong with you. Like, even if you just completely hate it and think it's bad, like, it's still fun to watch.
It definitely is fun. It is that is the best way I can describe it. It knows what it is, and I thank God that it knows what it is. Yeah.
Then especially after 8 movies doing basically the same thing, at least goes to hell, and then this one tried to freshen it up a little bit.
Yeah. Thank God. Because, yeah, I had a good time with this one. I really enjoyed it. It's schlock, but I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Uber Jason, I kind of wish Uber Jason had been around for more of it, but
yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, but I like Jason's regular design in this movie a lot, too. He looks really good. And again, Kane Hodder, I mean, the dude's a fucking legend. It's funny because on the Blu-ray you can watch an introduction from him, and he's like, lots of fun stuff in this one. He's like, so, watch it and enjoy it, or else I'll kill you. He's like this, and then he like grabs the camera and shakes it, and then just lays it down. He's like, now lay there, and then you hear like people laughing in the background. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's Jason X.
Woo.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook.
What have we got next?
Follow us wherever the fuck we are. I'm getting to that. It's all about build up, Justin.
Yeah, I gotta build it.
We gotta
break it down.
I gotta build it and come in it so that way it's better. Just like KM, I guess. what a thing that happened. What a Cronenbergian thing. Anyway, so yeah, next time we're looking at New Nightmare.
Yeah.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare at that. A surprisingly divisive movie that I didn't realize was divisive.
Yeah, I thought most people liked it.
Because it's not like it's not really a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's like kinda.
It is, but it isn't.
But it's kind of funny that this movie came out, I think, 4 years before Scream. Or no, 2 years. No, yeah, because New Nightmare was 94, I believe. I don't know what that noise was. Yeah, 94. So yeah, New Nightmare was 94. So this is 2 years before Scream. The funny thing is Wes Craven had this is New Nightmare feels like a progenitor because it's very meta, but like it's not a comedy, or it doesn't poke fun at itself. It's just meta because it's about the real world shit. And I just think it's funny because 2 years later, he would make Scream, and he didn't even want to do it either. He just, I think Dimension was like, you got to do it. He's like, you're a good director. He's like, here you go.
Just do it.
I'm glad he did because I love Scream, but we'll talk about that when we talk about that. But New Nightmare is next, and then after New Nightmare, we get to the main event, the final fucking Friday the 13th movie. Finally, Freddy vs. Jason, and then after Freddy vs. Jason, it's the fucking Friday the 13th remake. Or no, it's the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Sadly.
And then it's the Friday the 13th remake. And then that's it. And then it's Evil Dead Rise. And then it's Martyrs. And then it's Scream. And then Justin picks the next one-off. And then we just go down the line from there. And what I'm going to do is we're not going to talk about the one-off is going to be until the day of. So we're going to surprise each other with our one-offs, is what I mean.
Awesome.
So you get to fucking just stroll in here one day and say, Serbian film, and I'm going to have to oblige. So, that's fun. But anyway, yeah, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube, wherever you listen to your fucking podcasts, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just do this shit.
Clearly.
We just do it because it's fun. There's probably going to be a lot of audio problems with this one.
I don't think so.
Because,
we're in space.
Yeah.
We followed Jason.
No, I think there's something wrong with my fucking wires, but I'm still putting it out. So I apologize for any loud noises.
That happened.
Yeah. That weren't me being a loud man.
Yeah.
Because I'm a loud man. And I got a fucking loud hand. I don't know why I said that. Anyway. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy Jason Xmas, really.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Jason Xmas.
Don't kill anybody, though, unless you want to. But we don't endorse it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't tell me about it. Because I can't keep a secret.
Yeah, Justin's like that. I told Justin, Justin's responsible for, every, modern tragedy.
Yeah.
I
leak everything to the news.
Yeah, that's what he does. So that's how we knew about 9/11.
I was there.
Despite it happening in front of us, Justin's the one that told us about it.
My second grade self was there.
Yeah, just
taking
being
pictures, recording.
Being a little rat boy. Little rat boy. Rat boy. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a good Christmas. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
When we talk about New Nightmare.
Awesome.
Goodbye. Get some sleep. Go to...
A New Nightmare is a good title for next year.
Oh, my God. Anyway, all right. Bye-bye, everybody. Hope
bye-bye.
you fucking... I don't know. Yeah. Woo!